if you do want more, if you do want something different for your life, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to become more. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learn It From Me podcast, where every week we learn how to grow, love deeper, and elevate our lives. My name is Deja Criston, and I am so very happy and thankful that you are listening in today. Today's topic is going to be on how to get things done if you are wanting to do more with your time, your energy, and your talents. And I also wanted to let y'all know that it literally puts the biggest smile on my face whenever y'all share what you learned on your Instagram stories and tag me at Deja Criston. It makes me so happy, and to return the kindness that you guys share, I always am willing to shout you out at the beginning of each episode so that we can share your love. And I will also be sure to shower you with love and encouragement whenever I see it, and share it to my story as well, because it makes me so happy, and y'all are learning such amazing things. And so we want to make sure that everyone is learning, loving, and growing with us too, because we are making some wonderful progress and waves on this part of the interweb. And I am so happy that y'all are joining me on this journey, and that y'all continue to enjoy learning and loving with me and growing every single week, every single day, every single hour, every single episode. Yeah. If you are someone that wants to get things done, but you always seem to find yourself falling into old patterns, or you overthink it too much, where, you get stuck in this trap and then it doesn't get done, or if just know that you want more for yourself, but you just can't seem to get yourself there, I want you to know that this episode is for you. And with that, let's get into the podcast. So this past week, I really surprised myself. I had an idea for an addition to my business, and I started working on it immediately. Like, as soon as I had the idea, like next day, I was up and ready for the races. I was like, okay, I'm getting this done. I have a really good feeling about this. I know it's going to work. So let's get to it. And so I had that day, I was running on inspiration, and I was just rolling with it. I was going through stuff like a truck. I felt so accomplished at the end of the day. It was so good. I was literally riding like a productive peak. I hadn't had one of those in a minute, and so I was just feeling like I was on top of the world, because I was super duper intentional with my time, my energy, my efforts, and I was just feeling really good. And then the next day came around, and it was not the same energy. The circumstances were a little bit different. I went to sleep later than I had intended to. I didn't wake up on my first alarm. It felt like everything was going crazy bonko wonko, not the way I wanted it to. And so I was feeling really uninspired. I was really in my head. And I had to remind myself of, one, why I was doing this and what the necessary steps were to get what I wanted to get done. And so during that time, I was in this cycle of, oh, what if this, and what if that, or I'll do it later, just all the procrastination excuses you can think of. I was probably running through them in my mind that day. And, I had to take a second to realize that my brain was just protecting me from something that was going to challenge me a little bit, something that was going to be a little bit uncomfortable for me, because our brains are hardwired to protect us, protect us from danger. For a long time ago, if we heard something, our natural brain instinct was like to hide, to run away, just get away from it. And so anything that would cause us discomfort, anything that would compromise where we were, our brains are just naturally hardwired to like go the other way. And so I had to remind myself, I was like, okay, well, Deja, your brain is trying to protect you from being uncomfortable, from doing the work that you haven't done before, for, you're not comfortable with this right now. And so your brain's like, you haven't done this, Deja. You haven't done this before. Can you do it? I don't want you to fail. I don't want you. And so like my brain's just telling me these things, but I'm like, I had to remind myself and just fully believe that I know that my growth, the growth for my business, the growth for my own personal development was going to come from that challenge. It was going to come from me putting myself in that situation again, hammering out the things that I needed to, and then feeling the flow of, okay, I've done it. Like literally the day before, I felt so good in the evening. I was like, wow, I did so much today. I feel like I made so much progress. So I knew the good feeling that I was going after. I knew how I wanted to feel again, but it was just so hard to pull myself up to like get there again. And so, oftentimes we do just get stuck in our heads sometimes. We go down this path, we think of all the things that could go wrong, the things that, might happen, and we don't even consider what could go right. We're so fixated, our brain's protecting us, trying to say like, what if this happens? What if this happens? This could go wrong, and then this might happen, and this might happen, and this might happen, and this might happen. But then you never do anything. Then nothing happens, because you've already gone through all of these hypothetical situations and you're like, this could happen. But it's like, well, it hasn't happened. Most people don't even get that far to even try. And that's where regret lives. That's where regret thrives, is whenever you have this idea, you have this aspiration of what you're wanting to do, of what is possible, what you might be able to accomplish, to achieve, to do. And then regret sinks in and you're like, man, I wish I would have. Man, I wish I would have just started. I wish I would have just tried. I wish I would have stuck with it one more day. I wish I could have been a little bit more disciplined and a little bit more consistent with the thing. Don't let yourself get there. Just do the things that need to get done, because you already know. You already know what needs to get done. You already know what it takes to get there. You already know it's going to feel so good once you're done. But we have to get over that mind game that often is played with us of like, oh, what if? Because oftentimes we're fueling that negative so much and we don't even put any energy towards the positive, any energy towards the what if it does go right? What if this does change my life? What if this is the idea that finally gives me my breakthrough? What if this is the opportunity that finally gets me connected with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? What if this is finally the hobby that I do that takes off and that I love, and I finally find my passion and my purpose and what I'm wanting to do? What if that goes right? What if? But if you're constantly living in fear, if you're constantly living in that scarcity, then you're never going to understand what is beyond, what can happen, what does need to get done. And, if you want to stay exactly where you are right now, that's completely fine. That's literally totally fine. You can find contentment with where you are right now. Keep doing whatever it is that you are doing, because whatever you've been doing has led you here. So if this is all you want, keep doing what you're doing. You have kudos, kudos to you. If you do want more, if you do want something different for your life, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to become more, and the other things will follow along. But you have to start somewhere, and it has to start with the desire to want to become and to do more, to be more, knowing that you are capable of more, knowing that you have the capacity to do more. Stop thinking and start doing. Mel Robbins talks about having a bias towards action, and that's exactly what came up in this moment. We need to be the type of people that take action on the things that we want. We don't simply want to be complacent. We don't simply want to let our dreams live within our imagination in our head. We want to make them come into fruition, come into light. We are powerful people. We're extremely powerful people, but we often hold ourselves back because of fear, because of what if, because of protection, because of all of these things. But whenever you unleash that, whenever you set that aside, whenever you're like, okay, enough is enough. I want to do something different. I want to become more. I want this, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to take the necessary action that is required for me to get the things that I'm wanting, for me to get the things that I know I can achieve. Be the type of person that embodies that activation energy. You know, Mel Robbins, she talks about doing it just 5 seconds. You just need to give yourself a 5-second countdown sometimes. You know, even with just recording this podcast today, you know, I was nervous. I have a new setup here, and so I was like, okay, let me set this up and this and this. And like, I don't know, a big part of me was just a little bit nervous, but I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're just going to send it off. I have everything set up here. Nothing else can be made perfect to it. I mean, of course, I'm sure I could have tweaked it a little bit more, but I was like, let's just get this thing started, and whatever comes to me is going to be said. Whatever needs to be said, I'm going to say it, but I just need to start. The 5-second rule is so good at eliminating the overthinking. It's really good at bypassing the fear, at just taking that necessary action. Because whenever it's like a 5-second countdown, then it's like, oh gosh, I have to just start. I have to throw myself into this. I mentioned in the previous episode how we have to just take that imperfect action. Just take that action. Ready, fire, aim. Ready, boom. You have everything set up. Fire it, go, aim. Then we're able to assess. Then we're able to edit. Then we're able to come back and check things out. But just start. Whenever you just have that 5-second kickstart, then it's like, okay, I'm here. I have to do it. I was scared. The thing that was scary was me starting the thing. And whenever I just start the thing in 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go. I'm doing it scared, but I'm still doing it. I'm still here. I'm still present. I'm still showing up as best as I can. And I'm doing this at just the best capacity that I know how to. And I promise you that that's going to feel a lot more rewarding than if you were to have just stayed complacent, if you were to have just stayed exactly where you were. But whenever you use that 5-second rule, is to just get that activation energy going, just to stand up, just to get you out of bed. I want to encourage you to take it a step further and just set a timer for 30 minutes. Just set a timer for 30 minutes and let it go. Just start. Just get pen on the paper. Just start the thing. Just get your body moving. Just start. Give yourself 30 minutes. Half of an hour. Do you know how much time we waste in a day? We waste a lot of time in our days. So why wouldn't you contribute just half of an hour to something that you know is going to be useful to you, something that you know is going to be productive, something that you know is going to advance you in some capacity somehow? You know exactly what it is. A lot of us know exactly what it is that we need to do, but sometimes the fear of change or the fear of failure often holds us back. The fear of change and knowing that we're going to be uncomfortable with this new thing. Our routine is going to be shaken up a little bit. We're going to have more eyes on us. Things are just not going to be the same. We're comfortable, but we have to break out of that comfort to know that we can do more, that more is out there, and that more we are ready to receive more. Whatever God has planned for us, whatever the universe has ready in store for us, it is ready to gift it to us whenever we are ready to accept it. And so we accept it by taking the actions necessary to align ourselves to be the person that accepts that type of gift, that accepts that type of blessing. Because if you're not ready, you can't be blessed with things. You cannot get things whenever you don't have the capacity to enjoy, appreciate, and just use to its fullest capacity. You can't be blessed and gifted more whenever you don't know how to maintain the things that you already have presently. You cannot, we're not going to be given more responsibilities, more privileges. I encourage you to start taking that imperfect action. Get comfortable with taking imperfect action. And trust me, I struggle with it all the time. I struggle with it each time, but I know that if I do take that imperfect action, if I just start, I'm going to unlock things in myself that I didn't even know existed because I didn't even try. I didn't even open that door. I didn't even open myself up to that possibility. But once I pushed past the fear that I was feeling, once I pushed past all of the excuses, once I pushed past the procrastination, then I was able to see what comes out on the other side. And that is amazing. And now, you no longer have this baseline of excellence being at the floor. Now it's elevated. Now you're like, oh, I've already done this before. One, I know I'm capable of it. It's not just me confidently saying in my head like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. I'm really good at that. I can definitely do that. Well, it's like, yeah, you say you can do that, but you've never actually done it. So can you really do it? But whenever you take that imperfect action, whenever you actually do the thing, you're like, yes, I did it. And I either, it didn't go exactly as planned, but now I know what to change. Now I know how I can better, aim, how I can better, readjust. But if you never start, you're never going to know what needs to get fixed. Whenever we're in school, teachers are always saying, even if it's late, still turn something in, please. They were always urging us, like, even if it's not done all the way, just turn something in so that we're able to review something, give you a grade for something. A 50 is better than a 0. I promise you, it's going to hurt your grade a lot more if you don't turn something in. So just let it happen. Even if it's not exactly the way you wanted it, even if it's not completely finished, 95% finished is better than not even starting. And whenever is something that helps you lean into that feminine is asking for that help, asking for that last 5%, allowing others to come in to help and support you and encourage you for that last 5% that you have going for yourself. And so I encourage you as well to start practicing that discipline with yourself, to continue going even whenever you feel like stopping. And you would be so surprised with what comes up whenever you are in a flow and you're focusing and you're ready and wanting to work, and you no longer are waiting, you're no longer prolonging the inevitable, you're just taking that action so that you're able to feel the benefits, feel the fruits of the work that you are doing. It is okay to work. We were created to do good work. I have this on my journal. It says, you were created to do good work. Work that empowers and inspires, liberates and transforms, restores and softens. Yes, work can be hard, as it was meant to be. The verb itself calls us into action, rejecting passivity and demanding sustained effort. It provokes, agitates, and disturbs. But this work, the call for justice, is good work. It defends the oppressed and frees the captive. It tears down walls and destroys barriers. It changes things. So when you're feeling weary or hopeless or spent, remind yourself that the darkness is being flooded by marvelous light. Yes, this is work, and it is good. By Danielle Cook. I love that quote. I love that. But yes, allow yourself to free yourself, allow yourself to come out, allow yourself to free yourself from the boundaries, from the chains, from the restrictions that we put on ourselves, and start practicing that discipline to keep going whenever you feel like stopping. Revisit last week's episode where I talk about the motivation that you need to keep going whenever you don't want to continue going. Staying disciplined, staying consistent, staying in the pocket whenever you don't want to. That's where the growth comes from. That's where the progress comes from. So in short, I want you to remember that inactivity leads to inactivity. If you are sitting on the couch thinking about the gym, you're not going to want to go because you're just sitting there. You sitting there is not going to make you inspired to go to the gym. No, putting on your shoes, getting in your car, getting in the gym, that action is going to make you want to stay at the gym, going to make you want to stay working out, encourage you to work out. But just know that inactivity leads to inactivity and action leads to action. So get that momentum going with yourself and start creating, start doing something, start just exploring the things that you are capable of, start exploring the blessings that you have, start exploring the gifts that you have, start helping people, start using your gifts for good, start just literally start something and stick with it. Just literally start. I cannot emphasize that enough. I wish I could. I just want to that activation energy to just get you started and going. I cannot wait to see what things you guys continue to do as you continue to grow, learn, and elevate. If you would like to share a success with me, please share it and tag me or DM me on my Instagram. I love to hear about what y'all are doing. If you have any questions, let me know, please. And as always, if you want to be shouted out and showered with love, be sure to share what you learned from the episode and share it to your Instagram story. Don't forget to tag me at Deja Criston. You can also write a review on Apple Podcasts, and I would love to hear about what you think of the podcast on there too. But yeah, I love you guys very, 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 very much. And I want you to share this with someone who you feel like needs it or you feel like would benefit from hearing this. And lastly, I want you to remember that today is a good day to have a great day. So let's have a great day. I'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.